In this video, we're going to be doing an unboxing and an overview of the Corsair iCUE LINK TITAN 360 RX LCD CPU liquid cooling unit. This is going to be for an upcoming video where I'm going to be doing a transfer from the HYTE Y70 case over to the Corsair 4500X case. Beautiful case as well. And then definitely we're going to be seeing the differences there. So without wasting any time, let's get started. First off, let me get rid of all the wrapping so you don't get so much reflection. All right, so here we can see Corsair iCUE LINK TITAN 360 RX LCD. Extreme Performance 360mm RGB liquid CPU cooler. iLink. All right, so then on the side over here, we can see that it comes with a 2.1-inch IPS LCD screen, flow drive cooling engine, and next-gen RX RGB fans, and we can see the unit here. Then over here we can see some of the marketing stuff and tech specs, but we'll go over that as we unbox it. Then iCUE LINK TITAN 360 RX LCD, beautiful in white. And let's open this up real quick. All right, so bunch of plastic and paper and everything, but inside of this baggie, we can see the USB ports and the USB port here. This will go into one USB header on the motherboard, and then two of them coming from here will plug in right in here, so an extension. A white iLink cable with 90-degree angles here. Actually, three of those cables. The first one I showed you was 12 inches. These other two are 26 inches. So this one is right angle, both sides. And this one is right angle on one side and straight on the other side. So again, three altogether. Then it also comes with this cable. That's a USB 2.0 header to a USB Type-C header, but the USB 2 header probably goes connected into here. Then it includes this one as well, which will be the same thing, a USB 2.0 header to a USB Type-C connection. This one in black, and you can see that it has nice tight sheathing, just like these over here. Then it also brings a power cable that connects to PCIe 6-pin into this connection over here. This is going to go connected to the pump, but I'll show you that in a second. And then the 800mm tack cable. All right. Then it comes with a safety, compliance, and warranty information document. Incredibly important. You got to read this immediately. Let's see. All right, then it brings the iCUE system hub. Just make sure to get rid of all this plastic. Looks nice. And don't lose this either. This is a rubber pad with 3M adhesive on both sides. Then it brings an LGA 1851-1700 backplate for Intel. And a lot in here. Then it also comes with a mounting bracket for AMD AM5 and AM4. And then a bunch of screws. And a bunch of packets of silica. Don't eat them. All right, to start off with the screws, it brings 16 of these long neck screws that connects the fans to the radiator. The 360mm version brings 12 of these washers. And the 360mm version also brings 12 of these screws. So let's Make sure there's nothing else in this box. Looks clear. All right, and just removing the plastic from here. There we go. All right, so here we can see the customizable LCD screen that showcases the system temperatures, images, animated GIFs, and more. I know it's GIF, but I say GIF. All right, so it is covered in stickers and all that stuff to keep it all nice and safe. So just remove all that. All right, so it looks nice. Now, don't remove this piece of plastic. It keeps all the thermal paste that is on there nice. I mean, I'll show it to you, but just put it back when you're done, which I will be. All right, all nice and coppery with their nice design there. I like to use this thermal paste. If it's bad, I can always easily replace it. If it's good and you wipe it off and put something else, you'll never know if this one is better than the other one. So easy enough to change if you need to. All right, now the cabling, or the tubing I should say, also has that kind of rubbery feeling as well, and that braiding feeling as well. The tubing is, in this case, white sleeved low permeation rubber, so to make sure that it doesn't permeate and everything works great. The tubes are 450 millimeters, so they're a decent length. Not too much, not too little. Kind of better to have too much though than too little. So let me just try to figure out a good way to do this. And just slide this out. Ooh, it's pretty. All right, nothing else in there. So you can see how nice this looks. These are 3 120 millimeters and they're 25 millimeters thick. These are RX120 RGB fans. And I did forget to mention, pump cap has 44 individually addressable RGB LEDs, then plus an 8 on each of these fans. So 8 more LEDs on each of these fans. So beautiful fans. And then of course, make sure to remove this. I like the design on there, although when they're lit, you probably won't be able to see them that well, but this will be lit as well. On the other side shows Corsair. And in case this is the side you want to demonstrate, you can always just take this off and swap it with the other side. But I'll put these back here with their Corsair logo. And that looks beautiful. Corsair logo here as well. Serial number, UPC, all that good stuff. And then here is where you're able to connect those iCUE fans to go from fan to the iCUE fan hub. So that's beautiful the way they do that. Again, this is a 360 millimeter radiator. It is aluminum, so it feels nice and cold to the touch. The fans will provide a minimum of 10.4 all the way up to 73.5 CFM. That's the airflow. And they go anywhere between 300 and 2100 RPM, give or take 10%. And all of this will generate a noise level between 10 and 36 dBA. So that's beautiful. It's nice and quiet. Even when it gets incredibly loud, it's not incredibly loud like my Q60 over here. Now, as I mentioned before, the unit comes packed with the flow drive cooling engine with 3-phase motors for peak thermal efficiency. So that's going to help it out tons. And then of course, the way you mount it is going to help as well. I should be able to mount it in the 4500X, either on the top of the case like this, or if I have to, like this along the side, maybe with the tubes on the top, depending on how I can get the angles and everything inside of that case. The Q60 inside of the Y70 has been awesome, but you might be able to hear it now. It gets really loud. Sometimes it gets extremely loud and then comes back down. I'm running a 7950X processor and it gets real hot, but typically the ambient temperature in my house is about 63 degrees. It's 68 right now, but that's still really cool. Fahrenheit, of course, not Celsius, although this is measured in Celsius. With all the systems I've built, it shouldn't be that loud. Now, mind you, it's an awesome liquid cooling unit, but it does get loud and it's only a 240 millimeter. So it kind of makes sense there. Although I have built others with 240s and they haven't gotten that loud. I typically have headphones on and no matter what, the sound doesn't bother me anyway, but I think this is going to be a little bit cooler. So I want you to join me for that journey and I'll be building it real soon. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns down in the comments below. This is Iggy with ThisBytesForYou out. See you guys.